One of our senior for pro boxing fans here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we know that the COVID restrictions are coming into place once again. It seems like it might affect tickets. What's going to happen on Saturday night in regards to new COVID laws that might be put into place?
Well, it hasn't affected our tickets. I mean, we'll have 11 or 12,000 in there tomorrow. Obviously, the new rules from the government means that everybody has to be double vaccinated or provide a negative COVID test. That's not something that's new in a lot of arenas. They've already had that policy, even though it wasn't in place from the government. So, we have the rules in place. We expect to give everybody a safe night, an exciting night, our 44th show of the year, and hopefully end with a massive bang on what I think is one of the strongest cards from top to bottom that we've produced.
How often was Derek Chisora on the phone to you? Because I know he wanted that rematch. He wasn't sure he was going to get it, but was he pestering you?
Do you know what? You have to give credit to Joseph Parker, because he's the one, he won the first fight, very close fight, could have gone either way. He could have moved on and fought someone else. He wanted to do a better job on Derek Chisora. He thinks, and judging by the shape he's come in and the heavy number that he's hit on the scales, I think they're going to start fast. I think they're going to try and knock him out early in this fight. Chisora looks in tremendous shape. He's ready for that fast, sharp start as well. But of course, when the judges gave it to Joseph Parker, it was my fault, as always. And Derek said, "I want the rematch." But you have to give credit for Joseph Parker to taking it. It's going to be a different kind of fight. Chisora's last two fights have been behind closed doors against Usyk and Parker. He's not a behind closed doors kind of guy. This atmosphere is going to really lift him, and I think you're going to get a thriller. It's 5 years ago he last boxed at this arena and gave us the Dillian Whyte fight, one of the best heavyweight fights I've ever seen. I think you're going to get another really good fight tomorrow.
Where does each loser come out from this? Because Derek Chisora's in the latter stages of his career, and Joseph Parker, if he loses this, what's next for him?
I've had a lot of those questions, and it's like, Joseph Parker wants to become a two-time world heavyweight champion. Derek Chisora is a prize fighter. He loves to go to war and he loves to entertain the public. So I kind of feel that, if Chisora loses and wants to continue fighting, he's got Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, like all these fights out there for him. But certainly the top level fights for Derek Chisora will only come with victory tomorrow night. So for Parker, he wants another shot at the world heavyweight title. For Chisora, he wants to stay in the mix of all the big fights.
Just want to quickly move away to your other heavyweights. In regards to Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte, we're waiting on a split from the WBC. What's acceptable in your eyes?
I mean, 55-45 is the best split an interim champion can get. Bearing in mind his commercial value and also the period of time he's had to wait, I feel that it should be towards that number. Of course, Top Rank have petitioned for 80-20, so that's why the negotiations are so difficult, because their offer is going to be around that end, and we want to be at the top end. So all I've said before is happy to do a deal. I know Dillian Whyte is. At the same time, he needs to be respected, and obviously the period of time and his commercial value needs to be acknowledged. If it is, no problem doing a deal. If not, we've got a big pot of money ready to stage that fight ourselves, so we'll see what happens.
What about Adrien Broner? Still a big name. People in America still watching him. I know you were supposed to have talks last night at some point. Did anything happen? What was said?
No, I messaged him. I'm chatting with him today. I mean, look, I think he wants to come back. He keeps talking about 135, 140 pounds. I'm not so sure. 147 might be safer for us. Whether he has a warm-up fight in March or whatever, and then comes and fights Conor Benn in the summer, or comes straight into the Conor Benn fight, we'd like to work with him. Like you said, still a big name, very controversial, and still a very good fighter.
Another one of your big names, Canelo Alvarez, somebody that you've worked with in the past. Any news in regards to what's next for him?
No, I mean, I've said recently that it's going to take something that gets him excited and gets Eddie Reynoso excited. For me, that should be trying to become undisputed at 175 pounds. I think that's a great project for him. Obviously, you've got the 5th world title at cruiserweight as well, but for him to fight again, which obviously he will, needs to be something that just gets him a little bit excited.
Cool, that's me done. Thank you very much, Ed.
Can I ask you just a couple of questions from New Zealand? How do you think Joseph Parker has been progressing since 2018 and Anthony Joshua?
I think he's always been. He went in for a period of having big fights. The Dillian Whyte fight after the Joshua fight, was that the right thing to do? I mean, look, he nearly won the fight and it could have ended differently, but that was a very ballsy move to go and fight Dillian Whyte straight off the bat. Came back, went on the road a little bit. The pandemic hit him. Good win against Chisora last time in a close fight, but this is really a really pivotal moment in his career on Saturday night, because if he looks good and goes in there and blows Derek Chisora away, all of a sudden we can start singing from the rooftops saying, this guy's back. People keep asking me, what does a win mean for these two guys? Joseph Parker's in here to try and get another shot at the world heavyweight title. Chisora just loves to fight. But I think looking at the shape of Joseph Parker, coming a little bit heavier, I think he's going to be built for action tomorrow night. I think he's going to be looking to take him out. And I think they really want to make a statement, and they need to make a statement if they want to be seriously considered for a shot at the World Heavyweight title.
Is that where you see Parker heading to that shot?
I think he has to be. It has to be. Once you've won the World Heavyweight title, of course you want to reclaim it. And he won the title. He unified against Joshua. Didn't go his way. But then obviously the build back up, this is the pivotal moment that's going to lead him to either a world title shot or a final eliminator. But if you just lumber through this fight and don't excite people, it's much harder to get those opportunities. So I think him and Andy Lee have acknowledged we need to look great tomorrow night, and I think they're going to go out there and try and really entertain the crowd.
Is it crucial also for his future with Matchroom?
No, look, we love Joseph and we love David Higgins, so we'll support them all the way. But it's crucial in terms of landing the big fights with us. We know there's a big market in New Zealand. Obviously, we're about to enter Australia as well. He's very well known over here. He's known in America, so he can box everywhere. But you need to be exciting. And if he can be exciting and have a fight that people remember, he's in a great position. Still young, still a talented heavyweight with a lot of support, but you've got to look good. And that's as much pressure on that tomorrow night as there is on winning.
Do you think that will affect him in a positive or bad way, that pressure?
Positive, because I think Andy Lee would have done a great job in camp and mentally with him as well. I think they acknowledge Andy Lee knows the business as well as in the ring. He knows you have to look good to get these big fights. So they're not looking to go in there tomorrow night and edge their way to a points win. They want to go in for the knockout, and I think you're going to see 6, 7, 8 rounds of real explosion there tomorrow night, and I think this fight will not go the distance either way.